west, you go north to
Yeah.
Tennessee. Um, let's see.
I when I started seeing pictures of uh, like what happened to North Carolina, I pulled up maps and I literally started seeing like the red symbol with the line, like the horizontal line,
Oh yeah,
literally dotted all over Asheville, and I'm like, oh shoot, Aaron. I'm like, oh no.
yeah. I literally like every day they've opened up more and more roads, so like I can pretty much go anywhere now, other than like the mountains that got really
Yeah.
affected. So like Chimney Rock, Lake Lure, Black Mountain, Bat
Yeah.
Cave, some places like that are just inaccessible as of right now by like just driving. You
Yeah.
can get there and then walk around, or even use like some different types of vehicles, but yeah, it's bad. Um, so the storm itself broke pretty much every record of a storm that has existed in our area. The
Was this like 1916? Was it or something like
the
that?
yeah, there was a flood in 1916, right?
Hmm.
And I was telling Bison that there is one river that they measure when it comes to like flood levels,
Hmm.
and there's like minor flood, major flood, catastrophic flood levels. The
I think I
catastrophic
saw that
flood
picture today.
levels was the catastrophic flood levels would be it's 20 feet, 20 point like 1 feet past its line, right?
Hmm.
This river was 30.5 feet past its, so it was already catastrophic, but then it was an
Holy.
additional 10 feet of water. There were some places that um, like it just washed away the whole town, like
Yeah.
just gone. Um, and I was telling Bison that they at first they were saying it's like a once in a 500 year type storm, and then it was a once in a 1,000 year storm. And what that means is just statistically how likely it is to happen in like how many years, yada
Hmm.
yada yada. This the most recent data that they've pulled together was it's a once in a 14,000 year storm because of just everything that happened. This, perfect storm scenario.
Hmm.
The flood, the rains
Yeah.
that came before that softened everything up and already
Yep.
started the flood. The rapidness of its just random change in its period, and that dumped all the water in on us. Because the
Yeah.
eye actually kind of staggered in Georgia for a little bit, which made
Yeah.
all the
Yep.
water come to us. They said it was like 260,000 gallons of water dumping every minute.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I saw pictures of like today actually. Her satellite picture of Katrina and satellite picture of uh, Helene
Helene,
is massive, and
yeah,
the massive part is like the northeastern side where all the rain was, and I'm like, jeez, dude, that's basically where all the water was,
hmm
well, all the rain.
um,
Um, but,
it
but
was
yeah,
the
that's like I
largest.
didn't even know that you guys had already been getting so much rain and the ground was so much like so saturated, and I'm like, dang, no wonder it was so catastrophic. Apart from just the amount of water that it dumped on you, that is just so many specific things that already were happening in your area, and
And then the
then it's
wind,
just perfect. It was like just a perfect storm and just perfect circumstances to just
yeah.
disaster.
Duke Energy reported that there was like 5,000 power line poles that they had to replace.
Mm.
And as of to, oh, and also, so it was the largest power outage in the history of power existing in the household. Not only that, but it's also been the largest cellular data or cell phone blackout or cell service outage in the history of it existing.
Yep.
And and then I already said about the record rainfall and record wins and record everything. So we're just setting records over here in North Carolina. So we also looked at it. We got the a little bit more than what we get on average in a year in rainfall here in the span of two 2 days. So all that happened pretty much all at the same time. And then you had the trees falling, which were knocking down power line after power line. Um,
Yep.
so it was just a mess. It's been a mess. So, but we've been pretty good. I am going back. Oh, I can't chat to Miguel.
Yeah, I just saw that
Dyson.
too. Sorry, I was muted. I was
There we go.
eating.
There it is. Okay.
There we go.
Um,
I'm back.
I am going back to work Monday, so that's a good thing.
Okay, that's good.
Um, let's see. I'm trying to give you like the Cliff Notes version basically. Um,
Just looking at footnotes.
yeah. Well, because I was probably talking about it to Bison for like a good 20 minutes earlier. What else, Bison? What did I say?
You're talking about
Bison,
Capitol Hill.
Bison. Aaron had to Aaron had to pull out the DS and take notes on flip notes.
Right. No, it's just every single day there's like a little bit more or even a lot more of just like gradual revelation because like those first few days when we were trapped, we didn't have cell service or anything. Like luckily I was on the phone with my mom before the cell service cut off. So
Oh
like I knew
really?
she was fine. Um but like we didn't know anything about surrounding areas or how bad it was. We were just like, oh, probably just a lot of power outages. We just kept hearing from neighbors and like people in the area. Like we were hearing, like, oh my goodness, this town got wiped off the map, and they're saying this many people are without power and everything. When we finally got access to internet well, data on Sunday, it was like we just sat there for a good hour, just like looking at all the updates. So, and there's
Yeah.
still like, so it's kind of hard to determine some information because
Hmm.
there has been a lot of like fake posts or just people have heard something and they just assumed it was true, so they posted it, and then
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
else saw it, so they posted
When it
it.
comes to natural disasters, it's always nitpicking or what's the saying? Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Um,
So, but it's
yeah.
still the number is like somewhere between 1,000 and like 13,000 people are still missing. Now I
Yeah,
don't
I heard
know.
today that's 260 that are dead, confirmed.
Um, I've
That's what
heard.
I heard. That's what I heard today, confirmed from like your local uh, 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 fire and rescue.
Okay, I've not
Yeah,
seen any updates from them today because we were at my
not
sister's
260.
house.
Sorry, 213. 213. That's what I
Okay,
heard.
I do remember
That's what I saw today.
last time I saw it, it was at like 160, but I think that was yesterday. So,
Yeah, yesterday was 160, and then today was 213.
okay,
That
okay,
I that yeah I misspoke.
okay.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's like the stories that I've heard. I could sit down and tell you a crap ton of stories that we've been hearing, especially because my brother-in-law, he works with the Buncombe County Police Department, and he has been working 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day
yeah.
since this happened. Actually, the first day that it happened, he was he literally woke up and they were like,
We gotta
um,
go like
well, no, he
now.
got called in to evacuate people in a different county along the
Did
Swannanoa
he
River.
did he get called in to evacuate the people at the hospital that were at the top of the roof?
There wasn't anybody no hospital was underwater.
No, but the
There
hospital,
was a hospital that
the
they had to
hospital
evacuate.
that they had to evacuate the. Oh, sorry, sorry.
Careful.
He's getting excited.
I'm drinking sweet tea and it went down the wrong pipe. Um, um, there was a hospital that they had to evacuate the patients and staff to the roof
Yeah, I remember hearing
because
about that.
the flood waters kept rising and rising. So they had to evac them with
Mm,
helicopter
I'll have to
and
look up which
dinghies or whatever.
hospital because
They had to
there's
leave some behind, from what I heard, and had to come back.
there's two major hospitals in our area. One is like downtown. All they had was like they lost power, but they have like a frick ton of generators, so they've been running nonstop. The
Yeah.
other one lost power, and their generators ran out, but then they got power back Monday. But neither one of them was near a river. Now it might have been like a branched hospital or like a family hospital or like an emergency
like a
room or like
yep,
an ER
yeah.
type
It looked
thing.
like a first what is it? Urgent care.
Yeah, it might have been something like that.
That's what the building looked like maybe like a 1-story, 2-story building
Oh,
near
okay,
the
okay.
river. Yeah, it wasn't like an actual 6, 7-story hospital, but more like an urgent care facility, like kind of like a graph, but bigger, wider building.
I'll have to ask because I hadn't heard about that.
There's pictures and videos of the rescue workers evacuating them.
Hmm.
Um,
I don't think he was part of that because that seems like that would have been like an airlift thing. I think he was
okay,
more in on the ground doing more
okay,
like coordinated stuff like that. So, but yeah, the first few days were the worst. It was just a lot of like stress and uncertainty. But then once data or cell service got restored a little bit, or like we were able to know where we could go to get cell service, and Wi-Fi came back, and power came back, and stuff like that.
Oh,
Obviously,
mine
there's
just did the
still.
sleep thing too.
I think that's new, yeah. Um, it's obviously there's some people that are still without a lot of stuff, but the mass population that has received it, it's definitely helped even it out. Because I had to go get gas not too long after, and I kind of just held off on even going anywhere because I was like, look, it's gonna be
yeah,
crazy at the gas lines, but there's not a
yeah,
shortage of gas. It's just people are panic buying,
yeah.
and so
Like the
luckily
people
I was able.
that were panic buying toilet paper and paper towels
Yep.
yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Um.
literally last night they came into a 90-day agreement
Mm-hmm.
for the strike.
Right. So stupid.
My neighbor went to Costco and literally saw people ripping open the pallets of toilet paper
So dumb.
Well, I
at the
heard someone.
Costco on the second stack,
Oh my
like paper
gosh.
climbing up to rip it up.
Well, it's funny. I saw like someone post a clip about that in like Costco and everything, and someone was like, they should know that Costco gets most of their stuff like made in the U.S., so it's not even an issue for Costco.
Yep, yep.
And
They're
it's
not
I don't
fighting
know.
over
It's
that
just
premium
funny.
toilet paper.
Like, man, it breaks apart when I wipe, man.
Okay, little short antidote. Now that I can't talk to Miguel, um, short antidote. Like when my parents were here visiting, they left me with their like leftovers from their visit, their trip,
Hmm.
and including their toilet paper. They're like, yeah, you can have it. I was like, cool, I'll use it. I was like, I don't have to buy it then. They bought Scott toilet paper. I called them after one wipe, one use of it, and I'm like, do you hate me? It's like, do y'all
Well,
hate
like
me? Did I
one
do
There we
something?
go.
ply?
I'm back.
Oh, it was like, I don't even know if I'd call it one ply. That stuff was like
Half ply.
saran wrap paper, like you could see your hand through the other side of it. And I was like, do y'all hate me? Did I do something wrong while you were
I
here?
saw a post. I saw a post today that was like, man, whoever invented that toilet paper that turns red when you're finished wiping is a genius. So, but yeah, it's just been the first couple of days were the worst. We definitely were going stir crazy because, like I told Bison, luckily we had a neighbor who had a gas like connected to the main gas line generator, and
Mhm.
she took off. She's like an 82-year-old woman. Her her son came, picked her up, and took off.
Bye.
And she told us, she was like, if you need to get...
See ya, niggas! I'm not dealing with this!
I'm too old for this crap.
Well, she was like, I've got a spare fridge in the basement. You can put whatever you want down there. So we took both of our fridges and freezers and stuffed that thing. And her dad was like a major prepper. Well, I don't say major, but like he went through a very heavy prep phase. So he had 5 containers, like storage tote containers of very long shelf
MREs.
life foods, like MREs, non-perishable foods, canned stuff. So our plan was, since we have that, and he had lots of propane tanks and like camp-style stoves and stuff like that. So we basically were going through our freezer and fridge list. Then once we did that, we were going to go through our pantry, and then if we ran out of our pantry foods, we were going to go through that emergency ration. And basically the plan was, if we ran out of that emergency ration, then we were going to, or if we were getting even pulling from that emergency ration, at that point I would have taken Alyssa to an airport and flown her to her aunt's house in Ohio. Been like, okay, you and the babies and like your mom can go and do this. But
I will survive.
Right, well, but since we've gotten power and service and all that back,
3 weeks later, Aaron's like all buff, bigger beard. Like, I moved 3,000 trees out of this town by myself.
I built us a new house.
I put the rope between my teeth and I yanked on it like a mule.
But Aaron's looking like Kratos. Alyssa
Picks up his son.
Alyssa asks, where did the neighbors go? Aaron's like, it died.
Looks at his son who's crying. He goes, boy.
I had to have sustenance. I had to eat something.
Gatlin starts crying. Aaron's like, boy, stop crying.
I do kind of like unintentionally just say boy all the time to him.
Boy.
Oh, that's funny. Be like, wait, you ate the neighbors? Yes. But the grocery stores have been opened and restocked for weeks. I
Didn't need them. I did what I had to do.
They were weak.
Oh my god.
They were weak. I renamed this part of town Valhalla.
Oh, that's
Bald
so
man's pit.
Welcome to the Chrome Dome.
They're like pulling up to the house and it's just the music. God of War. Yeah.
And it's Aaron shirtless.
Coming out of the front door.
With a cone, like he just stole a cone and he's like.
And then he walks straight up to his wife. No hello, no nothing. I'm hungry.
Miguel is slap happy.
He is so slap happy.
Oh,
I love how we created a whole
That's
playthrough of
hilarious.
Aaron's like life experience during the
Survival.
storm through God of War.
oh. Oh. But anyways,
Where's the record button?
right?
Please do.
Since yeah, the first like 2 or 3 days were stressful because it was like everything we were doing